All right, so today what I'm going to show is some exercises that you can do with the plate-loaded short mace or club that I showed you how to make in the last video. For very inexpensive, you can make your own plate-loaded club that's adjustable to different weights, and you can do a ton of exercise with it. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of ideas in this video on things you can do. Now, you can do any of these with two hands or with one hand. I'll show most of them with one hand. And the ones that I have here are the thicker handles, the 1.5 inch handles, but you can get 1 inch handles. And so the benefit of using a thicker handle is that it does work grip strength more, so it can be a benefit to do that. Now, one of the movements that we want to do is called a mace 360 or 360. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dive over the opposite shoulder. So if I've got it in my right arm, we're going to dive over the left shoulder. Okay, again, we can be doing this if we have two of them, right? We can do it simultaneously. Otherwise, we take turns, all right? Another thing, now that's great for shoulder stability and mobility. Probably my favorite for shoulder mobility is this shoulder rotation. We're going to come up, right? So the mace or the club is in the center of our body. We're going to roll the elbow out and cast the weight out and then rotate it back. And so in real time, it looks like this. Okay. And again, not only is this opening up my shoulders, but especially with this thicker handle, it's really working grip strength. Okay. So I like that one a lot. That's a nice shoulder opener. Another you can do is we're going to, instead of diving over the opposite shoulder like we do with the 360, we're going to dive over the same shoulder. The mace or the club is facing down. We're going to swing it back and then rotate around and cast it forward. Let it rotate down again, and we can either bring it up from there and go again and bring it up, or when we bring it up, we can go into a 360. 360, dive over the same shoulder, back, cast it out. 360, dive over the same shoulder, and cast it out. So really, really good for mobility, grip strength, shoulder stability, good stuff there, okay? All right, so another thing we can do is if you just want to do the cast portion, which is great for shoulder mobility, grip strength, and some shoulder stability as well as a little bit of core, is we're just going to cast. So we turn to the side, we're going to cast the club, we cast it. Okay, so we drive from the hip, casting it, cast it out. Okay, and of course the heavier it is, the more work we're going to get with something like that. All right, so that's a number of things we can do for mobilizing the shoulder stability. Again, all of these things, pretty much anything you do with a club is going to work your grip strength. And another thing you can do, and we can do it with one or two, is we can do flagpole holds, okay, or just multiple reps of extending the flagpole. This is a little light for that. You can have two, then it gets much more difficult. Or even with this weight, this is 7.5 plus a 4-pound handle, it's only 11.5 pounds. If I'm fully extended and I just hold it in that position, in about 60 seconds or within 60 seconds, my shoulders will be on fire. So you can get a lot of work, again, with something like this. Some other things that we can do. Let's talk about specific forearm work. And so first I'll show you we can do without flexing the wrist at all. We just keep everything straight. We're going to do like a ballistic bicep curl. Now I'm not bouncing, I'm controlling the weight. I stop, I go, right? So again, you're going to work some forearm grip strength as well as working the biceps on that one. To isolate the forearms, we can extend out, boom, 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 right? And we flex back and forth. Again, we're working a lot of shoulders there. If we didn't want to work the shoulders so much, but we still want that forearm, we bring the elbows to our sides and we work the forearms in close, and then we take the shoulders out of it. Depends on if you want to get those shoulders worked or not, depending on how much work you've done that week with your other training, okay? So those are some really good movements there. There is one for the triceps that I really like as well. It's kind of tricep and shoulder. And what we're going to do is we're going to swing up and back, we stop the weight. So we use our tricep and shoulder to stop it. Then we forcefully extend the tricep and stop it. Extend and stop. Extend. And so we're getting a good little tricep work there, a little bit of shoulder. And again, I think all of these things are really effective for mobilizing the joints. Now, we can add a lower body component into this as well. So if you think about it, we can do these flagpoles that I talked about. We can do flagpole squats, right? So we'll back up a bit, do some flagpole squats. We can do flagpole lunges, okay? We can do flagpole reverse lunges. And again, all of these are working your shoulder, your grip, and now we've added a lower body component to it, okay? Another thing that I really, really love is, it's called barbarian squats. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna rotate over the one shoulder, come down, go over the opposite shoulder, down into a squat. And so that's our movement there. You can do that with two, okay? You go over, and as you come down fully extended, that really works the shoulders quite a bit, okay? So you've got a number of lower body movements that you can add into using these plate-loaded clubs. You've got a ton of shoulder work, a ton of grip work. We can throw some bicep, tricep in there as well. And so when we do these movements, again, it's functional training. It's training that transfers to a number of other sports, strength sports, climbing, things of that nature. If you have any questions, let me know. Check out the video on how to build one of those. Real inexpensive. Stay strong. I'll see you next time.